The story of a man who traveled whole world. The train screeched to a halt. A cloud of smoke drifted past the narrow station platform. He stepped down, his boots crunching on gravel. The air smelled of rusted iron and damp earth. Voices echoed in a language he did not understand. Children laughed, then stopped suddenly, watching him in silence. He had crossed oceans. He had walked deserts. He had stood under the frozen skies of the north. But this place felt different. The houses leaned forward like old men whispering secrets. Windows creaked open. Eyes watched from behind thin curtains. He adjusted the strap of his worn leather bag. His skin prickled. It was not the heat. It was something else. The street stretched ahead, empty and too quiet. Even the dogs that roamed the alleys had disappeared. The silence pressed against his ears, heavy and unnatural. A single bell rang from a tower above. Not a chime, but a broken clang. The sound wavered, echoing through the hollow town. He felt his chest tighten. Every step forward seemed to push him deeper into something unseen. The air thickened. The smell of burning wood and sour smoke wrapped around him. A shadow flickered across the road. But when he turned, nothing was there. He told himself it was only his mind. The journey had tired him. But the silence answered with a weight that crushed his thoughts. He walked faster. The sound of his footsteps bounced back, louder than it should have. As if something else walked with him, his breath grew heavier. Each inhale scraped like sand through his throat. Each exhale fogged the air, though the evening was warm. He touched the walls as he walked. The bricks were damp. A thin slime clung to his fingers. It smelled like old moss and stagnant water. The road narrowed. Shadows gathered in the corners. The silence was broken only by a faint dripping sound, steady and distant. He turned a corner. A door stood ajar. Its wooden frame groaned softly in the wind. From inside, he heard a whisper. Not clear words, only the rhythm of speech. Low, hurried, almost urgent. His heart thudded against his chest. He leaned closer. The whisper stopped. The door swung wider. Darkness spilled out like smoke. He froze. Every instinct urged him to step back. Yet his legs carried him forward. The floor inside creaked under his weight. The smell here was sharper. Rot mixed with damp earth. He raised his hand, searching the wall for light. His palm brushed against something soft. Not wood. Not stone. It was fabric. And it was warm. He pulled back quickly. His fingers tingled as if they had touched living skin. The whisper started again. This time behind him. He spun around. The doorway he had entered was gone. Only a solid wall remained. His breath grew heavier. Each inhale scraped like sand through his throat. Each exhale fogged the air, though the evening was warm. He touched the walls as he walked. The bricks were damp. A thin slime clung to his fingers. It smelled like old moss and stagnant water. The road narrowed. Shadows gathered in the corners. The silence was broken only by a faint dripping sound, steady and distant. He turned a corner. A door stood ajar. Its wooden frame groaned softly in the wind. From inside, he heard a whisper. Not clear words, only the rhythm of speech. Low, hurried, almost urgent. His heart thudded against his chest. He leaned closer. The whisper stopped. The door swung wider. Darkness spilled out like smoke. He froze. Every instinct urged him to step back. Yet his legs carried him forward. The floor inside creaked under his weight. The smell here was sharper. Rot mixed with damp earth. He raised his hand, searching the wall for light. His palm brushed against something soft. Not wood. Not stone. It was fabric. And it was warm. He pulled back quickly. His fingers tingled as if they had touched living skin. The whisper started again. This time behind him. He spun around. The doorway he had entered was gone. Only a solid wall remained. His throat tightened. He pressed his palm against the wall where the doorway should have been. Cold stone met his skin. Solid. Unbroken. The whisper grew louder. It moved in circles, slipping from corner to corner. Always just out of reach. His eyes strained against the darkness. Shapes flickered at the edge of vision. Shadows that shifted when he blinked. The floor beneath him felt uneven. He lowered his gaze. The wood planks had changed. They were no longer boards, but long bones, pale and smooth. A chill raced through his veins. He stumbled backward. The wall behind him pulsed like living flesh. He pressed harder, desperate. The surface throbbed under his palm, warm and wet. A faint heartbeat echoed within the stone. The whisper stopped. Silence smothered the room again. Then came a sound. A slow drag of something heavy across the floor. Closer. Closer. He squinted into the dark. Two faint glimmers appeared. Not reflections. Eyes. Watching him. They blinked once. And then opened wider, glowing with a cold, unnatural light. The eyes held him in place. He could not look away. Each blink of those pale orbs echoed like a drumbeat in his skull. The dragging sound stopped. Silence again. But now he felt the weight of a presence filling the room. The air grew thicker. Every breath tasted of ash and rust. His skin broke out in a cold sweat. He took a step back. The eyes followed. Unblinking. Unmoving. Then, without warning, they vanished. The darkness swallowed them whole. His chest heaved. He searched the blackness desperately. Nothing. But the sound returned. Not a drag this time. A shuffle. A scrape. Feet. Not one pair. Many. The floor creaked as invisible bodies shifted closer. Their weight pressed around him from all sides. He could hear breathing now. Shallow. Ragged. Dozens of breaths, circling him in the dark. A sudden warmth touched the back of his neck. A breath that did not belong to him. He froze. Slowly, he turned his head. There, an inch away, another set of eyes blazed open. Closer. Brighter. And in them, he saw his own reflection, distorted, broken, stretched into something unrecognizable. The reflection in those eyes twisted. His face rippled as though seen through black water. His smile appeared, though his lips had not moved. He staggered backward. The circle of breathing tightened. He felt them pressing closer, though nothing touched him. The air pulsed with heat. It rose from the floor, carrying the stench of burned hair and wet soil. His vision blurred. The walls seemed to lean inward, closing around him. The whispers returned. Not one, but many. A chorus of voices, layered and overlapping. Some spoke in tongues he had never heard. Others murmured his name. The sound drilled into his ears. It shook his bones. His knees buckled, yet he remained upright, as if the air itself held him in place. He tried to shout. His voice cracked, swallowed instantly by the darkness. No echo. No answer. The eyes multiplied. Dozens now. Dozens of cold white flames hovering all around him. Each one blinked in unison. Then the scraping sound began again. A single figure stepped forward. Its outline was tall, impossibly thin, as if stretched beyond the shape of a man. Its head tilted sideways. A sharp, jerking motion. The eyes flared, brighter than the rest. And in that instant, the whispers ceased. The room held its breath. The tall figure swayed. Its limbs bent at strange angles, joints bending where no joints should exist. Each movement sent a crack through the silence, like bone splintering. The man pressed his back against the throbbing wall. The pulse quickened beneath him, racing like a second heart. His breath came shallow. He could taste iron on his tongue. The figure's eyes locked on his. The glow deepened, drowning the room in pale fire. Its mouth opened. Not wide. Not yet. Just enough to release a sound. It was not speech. It was the grinding of stone against stone. A vibration that rattled his ribs and made his teeth ache. The others in the circle shifted closer. He felt the floor bend beneath their invisible weight. Their breathing grew louder, almost a chant, almost a rhythm. The tall figure raised its hand. Fingers impossibly long. Skin stretched thin over bone. The nails scraped together, sparking faintly in the dark. It reached forward. Slow. Steady. The air bent around its hand, distorting like heat over fire. The man tried to move. His legs refused. His arms hung like stone. Every part of him locked in place, as though he had been claimed by the darkness itself. The hand stopped inches from his chest. The air pressed inward. The beating wall behind him thudded in sync with his heart. For a moment, he felt both pulses fuse as one. Then, the figure leaned closer. Its mouth opened wider. And a voice, low and guttural, finally formed words. "You should not have come here." The words clung to him like smoke. Each syllable echoed inside his skull. His body trembled, yet he could not move. The tall figure's hand pressed closer. A coldness seeped into his chest. Not a touch, but a sinking, as though its fingers were sliding through his skin, without breaking it. His vision blurred. The circle of eyes pulsed with light, blinking in perfect rhythm. The whispers returned, faster now, louder, twisting into screams. He gasped for air. The room spun. The floor beneath him melted from bone into shifting black water. It rose up around his boots, swallowing him ankle by ankle. The figure leaned until its face hovered an inch from his own. Its skin was pale, stretched tight, and split in jagged seams that bled no blood. The stench of decay poured from its open mouth. "You carry their scent," it growled. Its voice was layered, not one, but many, as if every shadow in the room spoke through it. He tried to speak. His lips parted, but no sound escaped. The darkness smothered his words. The figure's eyes widened, burning white. The room trembled. The circle of unseen bodies began to move closer, their steps heavy, their breath boiling the air. He felt his chest tighten. Not from fear alone. From something entering him. The cold hand pressed deeper. Through his ribs. Through his heart. A chill spread through every vein, burning and freezing at once. The whispers became clear now. They were not words of strangers. They were his own voice, repeating his thoughts before he could even think them. The man's body shook as the whispers filled his skull. His thoughts no longer belonged to him. They moved ahead of his mind, spoken by voices that were not his own. The tall figure lowered its hand. The cold in his chest remained, but the pain eased. Its glowing eyes dimmed, as though the fire within was fading. The circle of unseen bodies stopped moving. Their breathing slowed, until the room fell silent once again. The figure straightened. Its head tilted, sharp and unnatural. Then, with a voice that echoed like stone breaking in the deep, it spoke again. "You have walked too far. The world was never meant to be seen in full. Leave this place, and never return." The walls groaned. The floor shifted beneath his feet. And before he could take another breath, the darkness tore apart. Light burst through the cracks. Blinding. Searing. He stumbled forward and collapsed onto the street. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of rain. The town stood quiet, but ordinary now. No glowing eyes. No whispers. Only silence, and the faint hum of life. He rose to his feet, trembling. The leather bag still hung at his side. But it felt heavier, as though something new rested inside it. When he looked back, the door was gone. Only a wall of crumbling stone remained. For a long moment, he stared. His chest still carried the echo of that cold hand. His mind still repeated the warning. He turned away, stepping back into the world he had spent a lifetime chasing. But he knew one truth now. Some places were not meant for travelers. And some journeys should never be taken again.